I mean, how does this happen? Last week, he had the whole legal system rigged. Now, he's powerless.
If I did it, you would be standing up in that chair shouting at me. And you know what I'd do? I'd say, you got me.
What do you get when you mix a convicted felon, a meme coin, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day? No, it's not a bad joke setup. It's Trump's inauguration. Jimmy Kimmel's got all the punchlines you need. From Trump's ominous speech to Biden's up-style departure, it's comedy gold. Or should we say, comedy orange. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. And individuals, it would appear that our most beloved orange turd has done it once more. Barnum and Bailey would have been embarrassingly embarrassed by the circus that was the inauguration of Donald Trump. Imagine that the White House is occupied by a convicted felon. Instead of being voted off the island, he is given the nuclear codes, which is a situation that is comparable to a reality television show that has gone horrifically wrong. What an unexpected turn of events.
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to this, would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Hunter Biden, in case you don't know, is charged with illegally purchasing and possessing a firearm.
To begin, our sour Trumpy decided to sell Bibles as a means of generating revenue, as a result of the fact that nothing signifies presidential more than a street vendor selling holy books. There is, however, more to come. Furthermore, he is introducing meme coins to the market. Is it the White House or a late-night infomercial happening right now? The next thing you know, he will be selling hair growth formulas that are miraculous and Snuggies that bear the name of Donald Trump selling them. Nevertheless, Melania's fashion gaffe is not something that should be ignored. It is said that Trump gave her instructions to dress in a manner similar to that of Goth Al Capone. After all, what could possibly be a more fitting way to pronounce the term First Lady than by wearing a fedora and a Tommy gun? Based on the fact that he would be remembered for it, I suppose he reasoned that he might as well make it appear as though it was a terrible costume party. Biden and the limo ride came next in the list of events. How humiliating is that? After a turbulent breakup, it was like that to witness two people who had previously been in a relationship being forced to ride together in an Uber. It's a relief that they didn't have to divide the bill, even though I wouldn't rule out the possibility that Trump would try to hand it to Biden.
The seas will rise over the next 400 years, 1/8 of an inch, you know. Which means basically you have a little more beachfront property, okay?
The family, we ran 20 hours a day, every single day. No sleep, no nonsense. Event after event, interview after, I mean, there was nothing more as a family we could have done, and to have the victory that we had.
After that, let's talk about that speech. A magic 8-ball must have been a source of inspiration for the speechwriter who was responsible for Trump's remarks. Will America be great again? Ask again later. It's a shake. Word salad is so confusing that even the most devoted conspiracy theorist would be unable to understand it. On the other hand, he did not attempt to sell us a timeshare of the property in the middle, so at least that's something. Contrary to popular belief, the management of a nation is more challenging than firing employees on television. Who could possibly have knew? Obviously not our Donnie Diapers, to be precise. It is highly likely that he was under the impression that being president consisted solely of tweeting and going on golf outings. I find it hard to believe that there is actual labor involved.
How has your life changed over the last 3 weeks?
It's incredible, and we are very, very busy. The life is...
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're gonna have to get a change.
One might assume that winning the presidency would be a cause for celebration, but this is not the case. However, if you are Donald Trump, you are not. When he played his first ball, it was so boring that it made C-SPAN look like a hugely expensive movie. You may recall that he promised that there would be celebrities present at the event. Just for the sake of argument, let's say that the only celebrity who showed up was the one who was wearing his man hat. As exciting as watching paint dry on the walls of the White House, the presidential party that Trump had in mind turned out to be just as exciting. What is the primary appeal? The hamburger spread of food. Actually, you did hear it correctly. It is impossible to overstate the significance of the phrase, "Make America Great Again," than to see a group of wealthy individuals consuming fast food while wearing expensive clothing. On the other hand, the true entertainment was provided by the dance floor, or more accurately, by its absence. It was empty in comparison to the promises that Trump made.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason.
And you know what? If I'd just been found guilty of covering up a hush money payment to a porn star, I wouldn't be in a rush to get home to my wife either.
Nah, we're good. Even the crickets told each other. The look on poor Melania's face when she attended the first dance. This was the expression of someone who had recently realized that they had left the stove running for a period of 4 years prior to this observation. How about we talk about the music now? God Bless America and YMCA were combined from the playlist and played together as a result of the fact that a song about gay culture and a song about patriotism together constitute the very definition of conservative values. It appeared as though they were attempting to simultaneously confuse the political beliefs and foot movements of everyone they encountered. On top of that, Trump's dancing abilities. Oh boy. Due to the fact that they were so stiff, people assumed that he was participating in the Weekend at Bernie's challenge. He was compared to a broken robot or a windstorm scarecrow on social media.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason.
And you know what? If I'd just been found guilty of covering up a hush money payment to a porn star, I wouldn't be in a rush to get home to my wife either.
Which caused a lot of people to go crazy. It would appear that he attempted to perform the robot, the chicken dance, and the Macarena all at the same time, but he was unsuccessful in each of these dance techniques. However, what is the real kicker? The demeanor of Trump. He gave off the impression of being as content as a child who had just been given socks for Christmas, which is pretty impressive for someone who had just recently become the most powerful man in the international community. As a result of his reserved demeanor, one might get the impression that he was attending a funeral rather than his own party. It is possible that he was already preparing himself for the stress that would come with actually managing a nation. The guest list was another mystery to be solved. Because of the large number of influential politicians and wealthy individuals who were present, the event gave the impression of being more of a gathering of the 1% than a celebration of democracy. As if to provide us with a sneak peek into his future cabinet, Trump disclosed that it would not be comprised of the best people.
The witnesses that were on our side, they were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft.
He just tap dances.
Can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece?
It would appear that the inauguration of Donald Trump was the ultimate reality TV finale that nobody had anticipated being the case. No one could have predicted that removing celebrities from the C-list would be less difficult than managing a nation. We were fortunate enough to be able to witness the most embarrassing political dance that has occurred since, well, forever. In spite of the fact that his big day was as smooth as Grumpy Trumpy's hair in a wind tunnel, let's face it, it was a rough day. It was a circus without the fun, from the limo ride from hell to speeches that made no more sense than a cat trying to bark. It was a circus without the fun. Elephants, if you will. Despite this, there were clowns everywhere.
Trump's hardcore fans may be a lot of things. Bright is not one of them.
Create havoc. These are bad people. I know everything they're doing. I know every move they make. I get it. It's tougher. I think it's probably, in many ways, it's tougher on my family than it is in me.
You need not be concerned, America. Despite the fact that it might appear to be as foolish as Donnie's spray tan, democracy is still very much alive. When you are feeling like your job is difficult, just keep in mind that at least you are not trying to govern a nation with Twitter serving as your primary policy advisor. This is something to keep in mind. Stay tuned, everyone, because this show is not even close to being over.